Disclaimer: the information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GAN's processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
In a health teaching, you said that the soul of the man leaves the body at the exactly moment that she must go.
Yes.
This moment, I didn't understand what you were saying about it. You said in a teaching that is beyond your imagination.
You see,
if you could say about it, thank you very much.
Yes. Go back to the matter state. Maybe you understand better. In the matter state, the strength of the field of a magnet dictates its positioning. When you put two magnets next to each other, they create a distance gap, what we call magnetic gravitational field position. If you put a winding around one of the magnets, you can do it if you understand how to do it, and increase the flow of the fields in one of the magnets, you will see maybe the other magnets come slightly closer or move further. And you can reach to a position by creating these kind of magnetic fields, which is done for some military purposes, some industrial purposes, that the other magnet literally shoots up without doing anything to it. It becomes a trajectory. We see it in the slaughterhouses in a different shape, like a bullet, but it's releasing and attracting. Now, your solar physicality becomes that winding. And your soul becomes the other magnet. But in this case, the solar physicality has given its energy to the soul. So now the soul is energized. And when the point comes that the soul of the man's energy surpasses the blood flow cage, it takes off. And in taking off, what happens? The physicality stays behind what the soul has got. Point of death. Why most of us die at the old age. If you can keep the circulation of the blood and the energy levels of your body at a strength that does not come low than controlling the cage of the field of the soul, you do not die. You can extend your life. The minute the soul of the man receives more energy as part of the information, emotion, and whatever else, and the cage becomes rusty and weak, the soul has nothing to hold it. It becomes the point of death. So our aging is by circulating less blood, feeding the soul more from the soul of physicality, dimension of emotion and whatever energy, it becomes more powerful and it jumps, it creates that, it becomes that bullet to a new position, breaks through the weak cage, which is rusty, which is the old age of the man, the blood cannot hold the circulation that is strong, then you die. Because the soul is gone, physicality stays behind. It's escapism for the soul of the man. We escape from it. We become good in doing it, and in that process, we interact, we increase, we add to it by expansion of strength. And that's how the death comes. Physical separation of the soul of the man from soul of physicality. But you got to understand, the minute this process starts, which the soul of physicality becomes slowly aware that is losing control to the soul of the man, it transfers most of the energies which are within it, within the soul of the man, within the soul of physicality of man, and the physical energy of the body of the man to the soul of the man. So it suddenly receives a rapid field energy because it's aware, the blood flow is weak, and then the soul departs. It becomes that bullet. But that bullet, through its interaction with field strength, has already destined for a position for it to find its balance. And then in that position, it becomes, because it has no physical structure, soul physicality with it partially, it becomes a star. And that star starts a new life as in a galaxy, in the universe, as a dust in the world of the creation. In a way, you created a soul shooting star, and you have to see if it has enough at the point of arrival that it becomes the source, it becomes the beginning of the new cycle for the soul. The whole purpose of creation is to create new essence of creation, which is another star, which is the soul of the man, but not within the physicality of the man, but in another dimension. And it doesn't matter how long you keep this together, you can always play it one against the other or one within the other, that you live everlasting life of the Creator. I made man in the image of myself because I become the man that within it, having connection with me, I keep total integrity and totality of integral fields of what I started with, so I don't lose anything. And this is the secret of creation. It's the secret of life in the dimension of the existence. As the Arab says, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. This is it. This is the final, as we understand the beauty of the Creator. All the beauties are given, and there is no more. It's you who have to understand how beautiful it is. As all the beauties, Rahmat, which is the kindness, the love of Creator, is already given. It's us who have to understand.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 635th Knowledge Seekers Workshop here on Thursday, March 26, 2026. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute Education Department, and part of the public teachings in English. My name is Rick Crammond, and I'll be your host once again in this weekly series of ongoing workshops. And once again, of course, we are joined with Mr. Mehran Keshe, and he'll be presenting the latest and greatest from the Keshe Foundation and from the world of plasma. Hello, Mr. Keshe, please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Good morning, good day to you, as usual. Wherever and whenever you listen to this series of knowledge seekers from Keshe Foundation and Spaceship Institute, we welcome you back as usual. We dig deeper in the knowledge of creation. As in the past sessions, we understood the connection between the soul of the planetary system and the galaxies and the universe. Now, if you look at the connection, how this is connected to body of the man, the soul of the man, and how does the soul of the man connect to the cell of the man, and in what combination that we decide in what cell to be which part of the body, and what determines to be the cell of a kidney organ, the cell of a brain, the cell of the skin of the man. And then what comes important, how these are connected to the soul. As we said before, every structure has a soul. So it comes down to understanding the cosmic ray connection between the soul of the man and the cell of the man. It's the same order. There's no difference. As the environmental gravitational inertia dictated the creation of the universe in the unicos, and then the gravitational magnetic field and inertia field strength decided on how a galaxy is created in a given position, and then the same how a solar system and how the planet Earth and then how the soul of the man is created. It's the same goes for the cell of the body of the man. Then we understand from the beginning, from the point of the creation to its subordinates and subdivisions, there is a common denominator which sits in the factor of the ray of the creator. It's like a bracelet you wear, and it's got little pieces on it. All these pieces are connected with a chain, by the chain, to make that brace. And then we understand that we all are connected through the same chain, same central energy field, together to the creator. Even a cell of the body of the man carries a cosmic ray connection to the soul of the man and up to the planet and the solar system and upwards. But what becomes important to understand what happens within the structure of this cell. What dictates what stays at what position? Why do we have solar systems in cluster of galaxies? And then why do we have a cluster of galaxies in the unicos and in the universe? And in the same way, this cell of the man is created from cluster of energies. And some solidify, some stay high speed energies, some become given position according to the field strength of the environment. And is exactly what we have. We have the Earth, the Moon, the Sun. We have these central energy fields with the direct connection to the soul of the cell of the man, which their position decides, dictates outside the environment and inside condition themselves, which means the outside environment, what they give out, dictates that they become a cell of the kidney. But internally, they have to keep a structure slightly different than the cell which is in the liver. They don't mix, and we have a neutral material. In the world of the creation, we call this neutral material cosmos, superfields, separation between the galaxies, separation between the solar system, separation between the planetary system, and in the body of the man, we call it lymph. In a way, there is no difference. Transparent, no identity, but when it reaches a point of given time, space, and place, and position, manifests itself as dust on earth. In a way, the similarity and the work is exactly the same. We look into the cosmos, we see the transparency of the structure. We can see planetary systems, we can see galaxies deep in depth of the universe. We look inside the body of the man, we see lymph, transparent, and everything else floats in it. But what dictates this? And what is the connection in every structure of the body of the man with the cosmic ray? How does our soul and the operation of itself within the structure of the cell creates the soul of the cell, and then the same operation? New scientists open a cell and they say, oh, it's got this in it and this is structure. They open a molecule and they say they see this and that. And we accept it. They tell us there are this twist and that canals in this cell of the body of the man, and it repeats itself. As we see the creation of the steps to get to this point itself goes back in understanding the interaction of the fields, cosmic rays. In a way, our body, the cell of our body, is decided by the soul of the cell, but in conjunction with the soul of the body of the man, in conjunction with what we call the soul of the planet and upwards, we discussed before. Then it comes to a very fantastic concept of understanding, which we have never considered. If and when we understand that we have energy side, we call the soul, and we have a physical side, we call the body of the man, when our body, our life in the soul of the man comes to its demise, given time, as we said before, like the skin of the man every 28 days, the soul has 50, 60, 70 years, depends on one condition. And then what decides the age, the life cycle of the soul? Is it that we, even as a human being, are a cell in the structure of the work? Or are we parasites to this structure of the work, which the earth is the subject and the object, and we are parasite living on it? We look at a piece of bread, it's there, but when we look at it, we see different things moving inside. It's exactly what we do, humans. We are the parasites of this planet. Doesn't matter what, in different shapes, we have different microbes and different bacteria, we call us fish, dog, and the rest. But what is our connection? We go very deep in understanding the work of the field, because even though we found the soul of the cell, how does the soul of the cell works with these new scientists call it up quarks, and the rest of it? So everything we see has another stage of the soul of itself within it. We see the sun. Up quark is the earth. With it has the moon and other objects on it. There's no difference. We see in this solar system, we call the cell of the man, different planetary system with different characteristics, and how they dictate their position and their strength dictates how this cell reacts, dictates how the solar system reacts. It's all the same. The whole purpose of the teaching of today is to understand simple. From inner sanctums of the simple energy fields of the cell of the body of the man and its subsidiaries to the biggest galaxies and universes in the structure of the universe, in the structure of the creation, we all are connected. We all stuck on this chain of the bracelet, which starts with a big nugget and connects it to the next, and then it comes back a full circle to join that big nugget. Does not matter what you put in that bracelet, the charm, star, is still connected by chain to the next one. A galaxy, solar system, soul of the man, soul of the cell of the man, and the integral part of this structure within the soul. Then for the chain to be complete, for the brace, that when you wear the bracelet to be able to lock, it becomes the chain of life. Life in the dimension of the creation, not life in the dimension of the man. If man calculates the cycle of his time, 50 years, 100 years, now can you imagine how long it's taken for the full circle of the fields of the creation with the higher dimension of the fields to start from the creator, end up with the cell of the man, and end up back to the creator? If you think of it very clearly, the rays of the magnetic field of the earth emanate from the North Pole, and it turns around all the way. It is continuation of life around the planet, creates storms, rain, and everything else. Life absorbs energies, converts them to matter state, and then it goes back through the South Pole, back to the center where it created, where it originated, where it was added to create the next cycle. If one understands this, one understands the full cycle, the chain bracelet of the creation, where we start with the rays of the creator in interaction with themselves and the others and losing part, it comes to the point that it comes back to that droplet and back to the origin. Is that huge snowball which we hold in hand and we play with it, and it melts down slowly, slowly, and it's still a snow till it becomes water droplets into the ground, steams up, back in the sky, another snowball. Never ends. Just the interaction with the conditional environment, what we call the inertia of the fields, dictates how it'll manifest itself and in what size does. The lower fields do not interact that much in a bigger scale. They have to be losing energies to go a step lower to create that. And if they don't have that energy and the energy within them is lower, they go a step lower and step lower till they become weak enough. Understand, weak enough that can be absorbed by the rays, by the fields, by forces of the Creator. And then the source is not the strength, the source is that weakness that in conjunction and in interaction decides what it will be in the direction of the creation. Cycle of life, of universe. Cycle of life our creator, not of the man. But in fact, there is no difference. It's just the scale, the size, the place, the position, and the position. But there is one common denominator, that it connects back the residual fields back to the creator, and in process, in interaction with the others, might lead to creation of the matter, another matter. But in essence, the interaction of these tiny fields, the interaction of the planetary system and their moons dictates the inertial field of the environment of the soul. And this dimension has different strength in different orbits and in the structure of the life in the universe. When we look at the structure of the solar system, we have different orbits and different atom structure, like electrons in different orbits. And according to the field strength, we always have one and only one planet in each orbit, where in the world of nuclear physics and atomic physics, we see a structure of the 2 and then 4 and expansion of that per orbit. This is where the difference between the plasmatic fields and the matter state come into operation. Where we see the difference between the atomic structure, completion of the orbits, and balance of orbits, which gives us matter state, inertia, combination of the fields of the creation. Where in the structure of the bigger, more energetic, or what we call magnetic field dependent souls, we see one per orbit. Seeing two is very seldom. Seeing two planets on exact similar orbit is totally very, very seldom. We have not actually found one yet to the eye of the man. We have not seen two Earths on one orbit around the center. This is the structure of the plasmatic energy side. But when it comes to the matter inertia side, we see double electrons, 4 electrons. And this dictates the splitting of the inertial field magnetic central structure of the soul of the atom. This is what, as I always say, the world of science have not understood. And once we understand this, the transmutation between the man in the matter state field energy and a man in the energy state of the matter will become play, a child's play. We do not see the moons exactly on the same orbit. We do not see planetary systems on the same orbit in respect to their center. We do not see the same with the galaxies. And if we understand this, then it explains to us why, for example, a structure fits into combination connection between the energy and the matter state creates life. Why amino acid with man's figure of 43, what we call atomic structure, becomes the common denominator for life in a protein structure of the life of on this planet. Because in the matter state, it absorbs different structure and it absorbs energies from itself that emanates and dictates a new energy balance. And that energy balance, depending on the connection to the nearest structure, dictates life, vertical or horizontal, a fish or a solid state. And then once we understand this, then we can even transmute from man to a fish to a dog to any animal kingdom according to the field, the strength of the emotion of the man. I want to be a dog, but I have to create the emotion of the love of a dog. The emotion of love to give. What is the condition? Why do I become a man? Why do I become a woman? Why do I become subservient? Why do I want to be a boss? It's all emotion which dictates. And if man understand this, understand the connection between the field energy of the cell of the man, direction of the soul of the man, then man can be changed itself through the dimension of the fields, the inertial strength of the what we call the amino acid, but change. In the structure body of the man, we connect to copper. So we have the structure of the what we call it fat, protein. But protein at the level which connects the distance out, the heavier part, red muscle tissue. And then what happened with the trees? What happened with the, what we call vertical people? Just look, you have amino acid on 43, inertial field of the soul, and then you have a calcium, which needs to be to attach to B2. Then look at the plants and the magnesium, and then look at other structures. But you have to look at what we call the space gap of energy. What it creates that pulse, what does it create that frequency that leads to the creation of such an object. But even that has and become and is part of the emotion of the existence of the entity. So when we see a man having an emotion, so has the earth, so has the solar system, so has the galaxy. We see the tantrum of this planet from its volcanic eruption to its disturbed atmospheric condition. I don't like this and I'm going to kick. So you have an earthquake. But we got used to it. But we don't understand the real structure of it just because it's a magma and it happens in this point. As I said to a classroom once with the children, do you know what the volcanic eruptions are? It's that boil on your face. That's all it is. Making a new landmark. There is no difference. But then we have to understand the effect, the transformation, the condition of cosmic rays on the structure of the cell of the man. We eat hot food, we get a boil. We get energies which are of the higher order from the cosmic rays. We all become animals, aggressive, and the rest. One of the reasons the man is always being a killing machine. Anything born on this planet, it just eats to kill, to eat, is because of the orbit of this planet in respect to its mother source, the soul, and the strength of the inner strength, the field of the planet itself. And these are all dictated by cosmic rays. So if you decide, if you take the research of understanding further, we'll see every single combination of the fields which man has now made new names for it. We call it up quark and down quarks. Is exactly what we have as Earth, the Moon, Jupiter, and Saturn, but they all position dictated by the cosmic rays of the environment and not by themselves. This is why the orbit around the same come to the same point every so many years or days or whatever, as does the cycle of the cell of the body of the man. If man understand the operation of the cosmic rays on every single cell of the body of the man, man will be able to transmute unconditionally on the energy level that the interaction of the environment will manifest itself as an object, entity, life of that point, place, and position. We have to understand how the cycle of life completes by the level of the soul of the man, of his self. And then how this dictates a new position for a circle of life. In so many ways, the soul of physicality of the man, in the dimension of the soul of the structure of the man, is what connects the energy side of the man back to his creator. Shortcut, but in a way getting sucked in the black hole of the creation, what we call the creator. Sucks in what is not needed, what is going, that's gone through the cycle, and choose it out as a beginning of the field so that the ones which are closer absorb. We see different characteristics, and the ones which are further out, they just get by, receive, create conditions, and live upon and amongst. In what man has seen from the cosmos of the world, cosmos of life, our scientists tell us we are in a solar system, in a galaxy, at the edge of the universe. But I create another point of view to understand about the cosmic rays. If you have your mother standing behind you, and you're so close to it that you can touch and feel her with your back, and you're looking out. You see a vast horizon. Stand by the beach. You are facing the beach, and the mother is behind you. You see an ocean, vast view, and you wonder, where does this end? Would I see the mother? You turn around 180 degrees and you see the mother. Man has to understand where that child stands. Are we looking outwards and we see everlasting of galaxies and universes? But if we look inwards towards the soul of the man, won't we see the mother, the creator, right behind us? I made man in the image of myself, but I am part of making of that image. Are we looking, are we believing our scientists that we are at the outer edges of the universe because we never understood? Or are we in fact sitting within the structure to soul of the creator that sits, becomes the creator of the others? Then it goes back to the time when the man thought he is the best, and the earth is the center of the creation. But all you need to do is to understand the reverse condition of the cosmic rays in traveling back to the source and find out from its strength, are you at the beginning or at the end and furthest away as possible? Then love and servitude in its field of strength dictates your position in respect to the mother behind you. Are you left alone in distance, or you're actually touching with a tipsy-titsy foot, rubbing shoulder, knowing the safety of the mother behind you, the creator? We are looking to understand the depth of this universe as because we are sitting in the center of it and not on the edge of its outer skirts. Because we are in the center of it, because every soul is the center of, is connection of, is part of, is in principle the totality of. Then, if you do that, as you sit, touching the mother behind you, and you have the field strength as creator which created you, then what is the horizon of life? And whatever is created in all dimensions of the universe is within the reach of the man in dimension of the field and energy, as you are standing looking at the same horizon as the mother above. Now I hope you understood and understand the connection between the man, the creator, and understanding the position of the man towards his creation and his created. This is part of the theology of life. And as a scientist, I believe we are more in the center than on the edge. This is why we are so close, but we choose the gap between us and the Creator due to the lack of understanding of the process of creation. Reach out and see you touch the mother. This time you have to use the strength of the soul of the man the strength of the soul of the cell of the man, and not the touch of the finger of the man. We go for a break and come back, and I gave you a dynamo. Next time we talk about why in atomic structure of the creation we sit in singularity of the planet, but in the dimension of the creation of matter state, our scientists tell us we have 2 moons on orbit 1 and 4 in orbit 2 and more rubbish behind it. That has changed us to understand the science of the physics upside down in respect to the dimension of the energy and the matter. Rick, take us for a break. We come back. We'll discuss more.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Keshe. All right, well, as Mr. Keshe mentioned, we'll have a short break here and be back, and there'll be an opportunity to ask questions. I'll just let our attendees know in Zoom here, you can open or you can raise your virtual hand, and then we can open your microphone or allow your microphone to be opened by you. And you can ask a question personally of Mr. Keshe if you like, or you can put your questions by text into the chat or into the Q&A or into the chat in YouTube as well. Okay, well, I'll play our usual video that we like to play here, the GAN's household reactor. It'll be a couple of minutes and we'll start the second part. Okay, we are back again at the 635th Knowledge Seekers Workshop here on Thursday, March 26th. And as mentioned, this is the second part, and there will be an opportunity for questions. But first, we have announcements and other topics from Mr. Keshe, which I'm sure he's ready to deliver. So please go ahead, Mr. Keshe. He may not be available. I don't see your microphone, Mr. Keshe, so it's either not open or not available. Okay, well, we'll wait a minute because
Sorry.
I'm just going to say I'm sure he's nearby. Hello.
I didn't notice my microphone was off.
Did we miss all the important things?
No.
Okay.
Thank you very much for being with us. There are a couple of things which, as part of the process of the Keshe Foundation and what is happening to us, I would like to, in a way, explain. The session of the tomorrow is changed to sometimes in April. We inform you exactly when, as we would like to test something and are just waiting for it to be in position that we can do. As usual, we make some announcements and bring some points forward. Keshe Foundation, in its industrial capacity and what we are setting out to be, we announced we are looking for experts, people who understand the work of the expert does not necessarily in Keshe Foundation technology, but in their own fields, which can help us. And many of you, as knowledge has already been reached out by us, and you're supporting us in this venture. What we are looking for now is knowledge seekers who have developed or invented products, technologies, applications through gas technology, cosmic ray, gas production, energy, or whatever, or combination of the knowledge they gain from the Keshe Foundation and its technologies and their own expertise. Maybe you have commercialized or trying to commercialize, or you have actually got a working system, but you cannot get finance. To other people look ridiculous, but it has what it says. Contact the Keshe Foundation. We are at a position to allow you to commercialize your product. In a way, Keshe Foundation will commercialize in your conjunction with you, in collaboration as a company between you as the developer and marketing, structure of the market, production, management, and the rest by the Keshe Foundation. You will be given your own company to run with full supervision of the Keshe Foundation. We provide within internal structure of the Keshe Foundation facilities to produce to market. You have or by accident or by work, have come to develop something which is connected to our technology, but you can't get it marketed or you cannot find finance to market it. We are prepared to look into case by case and give you your own structure, offices, secretaries, production facilities, and the rest. We finance and you become part of the structure with the proviso that whatever developed, whatever goes will be commercialized exclusively through the structure of the Keshe Foundation and open to the cash coin structure of purchase and sell, which means your product can be bought by those who play the game in exchange for us, which means the Keshe Foundation will accept the coins, converts it to currency of whatever it is, which nationality or which currency exchange in respect to your share. Which means if the product is sold for 100 euro, 30, 20, whatever agreement is between us and you receive in currency cash of your location. We hold the balance in cash coin, even though we finance the structure of the production, marketing, and the rest. We have already started talking to people who are already in the market. They want to use the cash technology. We put it, we are participating, we will participate in development, and in exchange that everything will be handled in under one roof and one structure. Those of you who join us in the bigger structure, as some of you have already done and you're operating, Keshe Foundation as an establishment is already setting up a structure of the education, its own school structure from young age till university, which means we teach our technology from class 1 in the school, which is set up by the Keshe Foundation. This structure has started, is in the process. By 2028, the first Keshe Foundation school will be operational in a specific position and condition. And so we start teaching the technology from the beginning that the children don't need to understand later on what's the problem between one or the other. One of the most, what we call reputable structure, educational structures we have started to work with. And those of you who join us in bringing your technologies, you join your education of your children will be absolutely free. In one of the most advanced structures, will be paid by the foundation as long as it's within the structure we set up. At the same time, we set up, as part of those who join us, the structure of the medical system that Keshe Foundation technology in health will be applied by those who are with us freely in a position and time. This should be operational by late 2027, 2028. We are setting the first structures, very slow, very solid. And if you are a developer, if you have developed the technology, you move in the position we allocate. You receive salary as normal. We look after the education of your children and your health through the Keshe Foundation technology. We are building a structure that, at the same time as many of you are aware, self-sufficient through the technology and conversion. This process has already started. It's not something we are going to do. A number of your knowledge seekers have already moved into our centers, moved back. You help when it's needed, and you know exactly how we operate. We have started setting up a very large international structure with the help of knowledge seekers who understand us, but they have expertise. When we need, we ask for, and we thank those of you who have spent your time in past months in helping us to shape this for the future of the humanity. If you have technology which is relevant and is part of ours, contact info@keshe.foundation. You might not get a response immediately, but if we see your process, your knowledge, your technology can be a value to us for the process of peace and development of what we call our objectives, we invite you to join you. We invite you to join us. And I have set one policy, as many of the knowledge seekers who are now moving in this direction, you don't come on your own. We welcome the whole of the family. It's no use to humanity enjoy the pleasure of technology when the inventor suffers to be away from the structure of the family of the life. This is why we set up the school and the health system. If we accept you, your whole family join us, and you run your own business on the structure of the Keshe Foundation. Look in what you're doing, what you've done, and don't forget what you think should be yours. Many people could have done. And if we choose one, does not mean that it's your technology, what you've done. We've seen many similar work between many knowledge seekers, and those who stand out that we see commercialization with all the manpower in it is possible. We'll invite you to join us. And those who are around us, they know how it works because they've already been or going through the system. So look in, you wanted to develop something, you wanted to make a prototype, nobody believed you, we believe you, the same as when we invited you to Linz, we said whatever you say we accept. And we are prepared to. We have set up a structure within Keshe Foundation, which very slowly, we are not going to do hundreds of things. We look at the opportunities, the possibilities, and the spin-off. Be it on the edge of space technology, to farming, to house utensils, to be it part of automotive we can do. You show us it works, and if you have already commercialized it, but you cannot support it, we are prepared to look at. You have to understand something very clear. Keshe Foundation has established a blacklist. Those who have abused the Keshe Foundation, those who came around the Keshe Foundation and then we found out and now they think they have something, you are blacklisted. The same as we've done with the Belgians, now the American scientists, and the what we call Ghanaians. We are establishing those who are the time wasters and do nothing but harm. If you have developed a system, technology, product, you think it does and you can show it does, we are prepared to look at it, to test it, to evaluate it, and it's because our technology, we believe you, prepared to finance its development. It could be a spoon, it could be a car, it could be an engine, it could be a spacecraft. We are very open-minded, as you all know. If he uses our technology, we are prepared to discuss. Send us your technology, what it is, and or the product, what it is you're trying to market, you're trying to manufacture. We look at it. We have all the facilities set up to set such a thing in motion for you. We're doing it very slowly and very surely, and I'm sure within next, as I said, weeks and months to come, you start seeing products of Keshe Foundation, the new logo, which cannot be copied, none of you can replace it, and the structure you will see from agriculture to electronics and to automotive to space technology, step by step at a time. So you've been with us so long, you have something, maybe it's time to join us or bring it in forward to change their own lives, and we are prepared to back it and finance its manufacturing setup, but all be done in one location, not anywhere else. We have set up what we call very much like Silicon Valley structure, massive area where it can absorb new technology, and we are working on it step by step. We invite you to join us in what we call Cosmic Ray Valley of the Humanity. We are blind to color, race, and religion, but we are very, very, very careful about behavior of the nations. If there are any questions, we'll try to answer.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Keshe. All right, we'll start off with, I always like to start off with someone who has a hand up here. So we have Francisca. Would you like to say who you are and where you're from, and go ahead with your question, please? I see your microphone shows that it's open, but we don't hear any sound yet. I think you'll have to make some adjustment at your end to get your microphone.
No?
Ah, now we start to hear.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, yes.
I'm Franziska from Germany, and I'm spending a lot of time in trying to understand the world as Mr. Keshe is teaching. And I have a question about the physical soul and the emotion. So as far as I understand, the physical soul is creating the emotion, and is this link between the soul and the physical body that makes us able to do the things we do, or to bring things into the world. But on the other hand, for transmutation, I understand you need to eliminate all emotion. Or, Mr. Keshe, sometimes you say it's a very specific emotion that's necessary for transmutation. And so I do not understand this this well. Is emotion something to be eliminated, or something precious we need to create?
Emotion is a cornerstone of connection between the soul of physicality, and the soul of the man.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot destroy it, but you should be able to understand how each emotion is created.
Mm-hmm.
And we are in charge of it. The best is, you cry
Mm-hmm.
because you're happy out of emotion of joy, and you cry because you're sad out of emotion of could be loss or anything, or what is not accepted to me. Physically, the what you call the physical manifestation could be the same, but the difference between the emotion of happiness and sadness is not very far. It's the two ends of the same magnet.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the only thing which has no physical manifestation. It is created out of interaction of fields. Is what I call ganses of ganses. When we produce GANs, we use a material to produce this dynamic plasmatics liquid. And then when we put ganses of ganses, two ganses together to create a new GANs, that GANs is actually totally manifested out of energy, not from physicality.
Yes.
And emotion is that. Emotion has, especially emotion of the soul, has no physical connection. And that is why it interacts with physicality very direct. But the emotion of the physical life has one side connected to the physical manifestation of the man. We cannot destroy emotion because it is non-physical manifested. But if you get the interaction of the emotion of the soul of the man with the interaction of the soul of physicality of the man, which becomes the ganses of the ganses of ganses, then that emotion becomes dimension of the source of physicality in manifestation of energy. What does this mean? It's the best example of it. Behavior of the child brings emotion of sadness to, let's say, to the mother. It's not what can I accept physically. But the soul has an emotion which understands the emotion of the sadness of the mother, but you understand the emotion of the child. Then these two emotions have to interact to find a balance. And when it's more or less what I call the ganses of the ganses, that becomes the judgment, because the new emotion is made that you don't want to destroy the child, but you want to make sure that you don't make such a mistake again to create such a mistake. So now that new energy, that new emotion of the connection of the two, in releasing energy, decides that you get a cancer on the left side if it's a daughter.
Yeah.
You understand? So the energy is different. And that energy difference creates a new dimension. It's very much like corona as a virus. On its own, it does nothing. But as an energy, when it interacts with the calcium of the body of the man, it solidifies it. It creates a new condition. It's just like you put the food from the house, or from the room into the freezer. You just change the environment. The soul of the soul, which decides that emotion, creates that condition. So we have to understand where the emotion comes. And usually what we see, what we call the ganses of the emotion, the interaction of the two emotion of the soul of the man and emotion of the soul of physicality of the man, that leads to a change in a physical dimension. It changes the environment of the body of the person. I don't want to exist. Or we see that when we fall in love. The behavior is of the interaction of the joy of life with the soul of physicality, because it's a physical dimension. But the soul of the man has a reference in loving or giving. And when these two match, we do all stupid things in the physical dimension. You understand? So we have to understand the cornerstone of life in a physical dimension is emotion. We cannot live without it. We created it, we perfected it, but has a barometer, has a balance, which is sits with the soul of the man.
And if we find that emotion that makes transmutation possible, in a way, it's also affecting the body, because the body will lose all these tensions and blockages and stuff we create from difficult.
In a way, we create that if we manage to increase that soul, what Gans soul of the emotion, emotion out of the two souls, then we create a new environment. The way we created the cancer in the cell, we create an envelope. That envelope is independent of place, time, and position, but with the emotion, you can move that envelope. I always say transmutation is the transfer of energy, transportation is transfer of physicality. And as we always said, you've seen in systems, vertical systems in Linz, in the exhibition, the present world of science wants to move one electron, and they spend billions of dollars in it, trying to move a part of an electron, or whatever, or an atom. But if you make an envelope of fields, Doesn't matter what's in that envelope, as I've said many times. And that, because it's energy, you can transfer it through telephone, the way your sound does.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? But you have to create that emotion of the soul of the, what we call Gans of the Ganses, so soul of the two emotion of the two souls of the physicality and the soul of the man, that you create that envelope. And then that envelope, because emotionally connected to the physicality, dictates the position. And then the soul of the man becomes the carrier of energy or the supplier of the energy for that. You want to be in New York or in America with your sister. That emotion, the strength, the love of the sister in America brings you that emotion in the soul, that the new dimension, the way it created the cancer cell, now creates a cell or an eggshell of fields that allows you to transmute. And then the soul of physicality dictates the position, the place, and the time.
So in a sense, I have to know the places where I want to go.
No, you don't need to. You don't need to.
I can just love them without knowing them, and then I can get there.
Yes, yes.
So I can love the Lyra star system, and then I can get there.
Our soul knows what I call the whole GPS of the universe.
Okay.
It's very funny. It's not like the Americans, which in past few days they played with the GPS and ships are in places that never ship could be there in the middle of deserts.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot place with the GPS of the soul of the man, which is connected to GPS of the soul of the galaxies and universes. There is no way in the universe that we cannot manifest when we travel in the dimension of the energy, what we call the soul of the creation. Because once you arrive, what we call the inertial magnetic field of the place, time, and position, and what you carry dictates how you manifest yourself in that position. But you don't die, because that has dictated this is a condition of survival in this position.
You talk of place, time, and position.
And the position. What do you carry?
What
your deeds, your conducts.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? You cannot travel first class when your pocket is empty, if I can put it that way.
Yeah.
So we pocket into the life cycle of life. And I explain this in a very philosophical way. But if you understand what it means, it'll answer a lot of theology questions in life.
Mm-hmm.
The size of the energy level, or what we call the package of the soul of the man, is fixed for all on this planet. The amount we kill, we take from it.
Mm-hmm.
And when it reaches to a point of reserve that it cannot go any lower, our physicality departs.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yes.
So if we understand this, is not the elevation, is what we take out of it, not by observation of how good man you are or how charitable you are. Your thoughts is the biggest drainer on your soul.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yes.
So we actually decide our death or position of our soul in the creation by how much we take in from the reserve.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yes.
The vegetarians kill more souls than the meat eaters.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes, I understand.
And that taking makes you don't have any energy left, because you keep on taking more and more. So they become humble, they become soft, and the rest of it is because the soul is running out. but you take certain spectrum of the energy from that level, but it still has a certain position in respect to the rest of the dimension of creation. And it's us who decides how much we deplete. Every thought takes something, every action takes something from the bank of it. And this is why when you tap in the what we call the cosmic ray, the energy of the universe, that you don't destroy anything, and you live by the ethos of what we call Reactor, but knowledge of Mitra, then you don't deplete your bank account. You live for thousands of years because you haven't destroyed. Talk good, do good, act good, think good.
Mm-hmm.
And all of it, when you when you rage, somebody has done something wrong, or you plan to do something to someone, how much you get exhausted because all your time goes on it. This is what you're taking from the soul. You don't need to kill an animal.
Mm-hmm.
Pay for it.
And did you teach us already how to make the guns of the Ganses?
Yes, it's somewhere in the teaching.
Okay.
But you have to understand what to do. In the operation of the Keshe Foundation and Space Technology, in a very near future, we will produce the guns of the soul of humanity.
Wow.
And we already have access to it. And our research centers, one of the steps in the next couple of years is where the connection with what we have, the new game, will connect with the soul of the man as is one soul, one planet, one nation. We have the technology, but the knowledge seekers have to reach the maturity to understand.
So for your project to offer mode to sell the stuff we invented, do you want the whole product, or do you want in the first place the concept of it, the blueprint?
We prefer something which is already physically there.
Good.
We see the sample, we look at it. We as I said to knowledge seekers, we have not wasted a cent of the Keshe Foundation in developing technologies and facilities. But we learn our lesson, we keep very quiet, need to know basis, and we operate that way. But sooner or later you see the new logo of the Keshe Foundation in products which will become worldwide operational. A lot has been done, a lot of knowledge seekers have put their lives onto it, and they're working in the background. Some of you come in, you are participating in the development of it, and I thank all of you for keeping what I call the secret. We need to do it this time this way that we don't get touched.
Yes.
And we are open, and many knowledge seekers, actually non-knowledge seekers, we have given opportunity recently to join this structure. We think they can be a part there or understand.
Thank you very much, Mr. Keshe.
Thank you very much. If you have anything, send us. Don't wait that we inform you tomorrow. We are very busy, and at the same time, we're setting the structure to look at it soon. In the next few months, a division will be set up for new inventions and products that you can offer, and we look at it and we see if we have the opportunity to finance it and to build it, and you'll be the beneficiary of it. The rest comes into the structure of the foundation for the work.
Yeah, we'll finish the building first and then we come.
Yes. Maybe sometimes you have a concept, you put a lot of time into it, but when you come to us, we see the flow, we see it's been done, or needs a little bit of connection for you to do it faster. We are open to everything.
That's why I asked whether you want to see the concept first and maybe say...
Send us the concept, info@keshe.foundation, and we look at it. There is somebody I've tried to get in touch with. I've lost the connection, the contact. Is the father of the two girls, which, if you remember, in Corona time, we have with a tooth. If you're still listening to us, get in touch and go through the channel through Dr. Kern. I'm looking especially for your support for part of our work. I remember I received a communication, but I cannot find it to go back. You live in Switzerland, and you know what I'm talking about. If you are, please get in touch. We are looking for your support.
Yeah, the friend with whom I do this, Raphael, is also from Switzerland, so I can ask him. He might know him.
Yeah, I think they listen to the teaching that Kern knows. I've been trying to reach. If you have anything, let us know. We look at it. We are there to create the opportunity, because at the moment the technology is so different that everybody and a lot of people are not prepared to support it, and becomes a struggle for the knowledge seekers. Now we have the opportunity to support the knowledge seekers to bring the technology to use, to what we call fruitfulness. And it's very slow process. It won't happen tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But we are setting the structure for it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed. Any other question?
Yeah, thank you. We have another hand up here with Brett, so we'll let Brett go ahead, and then we have several questions in the Q&A that we can
I have to finish by 11 o'clock. I have a meeting, urgent meeting. I have to
in half an hour, correct? Okay. Brett, do you want to go ahead?
Quick. Hello, Mr. Keshe. How you going?
Thank you very much.
I have some really good news. We sorted out the boy's eyes. And in essence, remember when you said about whether you should be left or right-handed? It turns out that it was a psychological problem, and he was, in a way, learning whether he was going to be cross-eyed or he was going to have straight eyes. He went through that kind of understanding. Now, there's only one question that I have. When he looks really closely, the right eye just goes like zoom over to the left-hand side, and he's looking with the left-hand eye. So what part of this does the right-hand side of the brain, should I try to
Speak to Dr. Kern. We don't discuss these things on the teaching. You have to speak with the doctors. Go through Dr. Kern.
But it's just psychological. I thought we were allowed to speak about psychological.
There is a big question mark on that. Please go through Dr. Kern, because we try to keep away from that side of the operation, but there are facilities there. It can be set up to be able to help the medical.
Look, I'll be able to handle it myself. It's just about the right side of the brain. What part does that play in someone's development? I thought those sorts of questions.
It's the same. You see that the both sides of the brain work in tandem. And you cannot blame one side to the other, or say what side does what. You have to understand more in depth the operation between the two, and what is the reason that it does this. Is the energy level, and then there is a mechanical failure and there is an emotional failure.
Yeah.
You have to find out. You see, for example, in the world of medicine, if to do with eye, if you get a hit from right in the back of the head, when parallel in line with the eyesight, what we call the eyes, you get disturbances in the vision, which is totally irrelevant. But now we know it is. And what do the doctors do? They give you a curtain, what do you call it, glass, to compensate for the change in the damage in the back of the eye. That your eye is not touched. It's just at the back of the eye. A lot of accidents, people with a back head injury, they have a change in their eyes. And doctors in different ways over years have developed different technologies to compensate for loss of vision through that part. But what has got the back of the head to do with the vision? This is how it's very much connected. You have to understand a lot of things to be able to assess it directly. Is it the structure of the hemisphere of the brain and the shape of the skull? We see this, what you're talking about, with the Chinese. If you lived the way I lived in China, it's impossible not to notice what you're saying, but that has become part of the work because the shape of the skull of Chinese does not allow capacity of two eyes to focus in one position. You sometimes go crazy sitting in front of the what you call Chinese television and watch the presenters. They look at you with two, and then one moves in and it locks. You see, how is possible? It's got to do with the shape. I've watched this and I had to understand it. So you look at the structure of the skull, you look at the structure of the brain. Where is the pressure and what is the shape of it that creates such a position? It's understanding the physiology of the skull more than understanding and then blaming different things for. You have to understand why and how and what part is emotion, what part is physical.
This is actually that's all I really needed to get me through.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much.
Thank you very much.
Because he's been through an emotional episode in 9 months without his mummy. So it's emotional, and that's why I've been able to get him out of it, to relearn him.
You'll look in a lot of other things. Talk to Dr. Kern if you need some assistance.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brett.
Sorry, something I forgot to tell you. One of the things that is getting worked on by those who are responsible for this part, we're trying to limit the April session through a different way of connection to the wellness center, or what we call to our central system. In the April session, if hopefully everything is done according to what I've been told, you will not hear anybody else. So we can directly interact with you during the session without anybody else. You're on your own single channel. This will be set up through what we call the Enlightenment Game. And we do not know the limit of how many of you we can accommodate up to. But at the moment when we go through Zoom, we will not be using Zoom. We'll be using the Keshe Foundation KF connection in the Enlightenment Games. They're trying to register if you want to be part of the April session. You have to enroll through the Enlightenment Game with a connection with the KF. It'll all be set up. We explain to you the day before or the week before we do it, that you will be on your own channel, which means, for example, up to now, many of you got disturbed with people sneezing, going to sleep, snoring, and whatever. From now on is one-to-one. It'll be one-to-one. And we want to test this for a number of people, and not a larger scale, maybe 30, 40, 50 people. And with that way, we can transmit what we call the exact process to individuals. This will be when in the future, 10,000 people with the Apple come online, they want to have the energy of the Apple. they just go to that channel for the energy of the apple. So this is part of the process you will have in April session. One thing which I would like to ask you or tell you is that April session is for addiction only. Because when we did the addiction session, we had a huge success with it. A lot of you lost a lot of your addiction. If you lost addiction, don't come in. You can get it back. We know this because you reset the reset. If you are addicted to anything and the addiction goes, preset your mind to that addiction, and you have to come through what we call the enlightenment and peace game. As I'm aware and a lot of things happening, the enlightenment and peace game will become a source of a lot of things for knowledge seekers in the future. And this is the first time we are trying it. So if you are registering for what we call April session, or was supposed to be tomorrow, one of the delays is that you do not use Zoom anymore. You'll be given, you go through your own channel, through what we open up to you. We give you the instruction when the time comes. You go through the game to reach to the session. And the first session, we want to go back and test, reconfirm the addiction. And we'll set up everything from our side as usual, and it'll be one-to-one. You hear no one, it's just you and the system. And it's irrelevant how many people are on the system. You only hear us at the beginning, and then the rest is in your head. Okay, any other question?
Okay, thank you. We have a couple of questions about the game of enlightenment. George asks in our Q&A, hello, Mr. Keshe. I've played the plasma game and earned 2,000 FCC. Does this mean that I have earned my 2 Keshe coins? How can I use them? I want to buy a Keshe coin wallet and other Cosmic Spring products with them. Could I do that now? Thank you.
You have to wait till we finish the structure. You have to earn 2 full coins. And when the coin comes, depends what is on offer for exchange for coin. And we explain this is just give us a few more weeks, then this is fully done, then we do it, because the CC coin and a KC coin have to be set up, connected properly. This is there was apparently a hiccup. Once this is done completely, then you exchange the Keshe coins to KC coin, which is a Keshe Foundation coin. But I'll tell you exactly how it works in detail, how you can exchange. You can only exchange where the structure the companies accept. If you go back on the game for the registration of playing the game, there are different levels: individuals, companies, and government. So as we transfer 8% of the transition from CC to KC, it will be allocated to the government. Then it goes to a special account. The coin is produced for them, and as I said, we pay the government where you live, your resident of, not where you carry your passport of. And this is all should be done in next 2 months, 3 months, wholly. And there's a lot of work getting done on this. We're trying to sort some hiccups. Even this morning we were working on it. And then you can exchange where it is and what it is, because when you buy Keshe Foundation coins, KC coins from the game, we have to exchange between the two and to hold that we can dispose of those to pay our wages and expenses. And this is getting done. I think FCs is a very small amount in doing it. We'll publish a chart how it works, how much you need. You need a full coin to exchange, and you get 90% of your CC to KC. And there'll be new products in the next few weeks that you can order and pay by that. And in a few weeks' time, in some positions, we deliver agricultural products and other things that you can buy Bitcoins, and gradually we go that way. Just bear with us a few more weeks. The game is getting tested, as you helped us from January till March. Now is the next stage of testing before we go worldwide that everybody can use
Okay,
it.
Ekmar's put a scale in here on the...
Can you put it on the screen, please?
Yeah, okay, let me try to copy it here. And to be clear, the whatever cash coins were earned before the version 1 of the game started, they don't count toward the version 1 and the actual playing of the new part of the game, correct?
Yeah, because that was 3 months was testing to find all the failures and the problems as we asked you to participate.
Right. Okay, let me just make this bigger. And share it. Okay, this is the scale that Ekmar has suggested. So it mentions milli, micro, nano, pico, and femto. So an ACC is atto, which is 10 to the minus 18. Femto is 10 to the minus...
We don't
50.
see the atto one.
At the bottom here.
Okay. I told you so little we can't see it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, femto is 10 to the minus 15 and goes up to pico, which is 1,000 times more, and nano 1,000 times more than that, micro, which is 1,000 times more than that, and finally milli. So I'm not clear, and if they're talking about a femto coin, is that a what is it, a trillionth of a penny or something like that?
Because you have to understand, a coin is 1,000 euro. 1,000, and then if you go 10 to minus 5, you become to 1 cent euro. You understand? You have a euro.
Right. So in the game, we're at 10 to the minus 15, which is 10 gradients more just to get up to
Panto.
Yeah, so there's no human way of making a penny out of anything.
This was at the beginning of the game. This was a test trial. We have put it that way. It was just people trying to help.
But that's the way it is now, right now in the game as well.
Getting done once we are ready, because we have to set up a lot of things getting set up in the background. So it's not just to play one game and just make 2,000, 2 coins a month and walk away. This is and hopefully developers, when they come in, they make the game much more complicated, much more thinking wise in our way. But it's set up once it's fully operational, because there's a lot of things needs to be set up still. 2 coins a month should be doable.
Right.
The system is set up that the robot cannot take over and just make money. You cannot go mining.
Right. So George, who has 2,000 FCC, which is more than I think anybody has.
At the pico level.
That's yeah, that would be at the pico level of coin, which would be pretty tiny wee.
Which is tiny way, but this will change once the system is structured. As I was explaining earlier on today, we have to. It's no use winning the game for collecting coin when you cannot do anything with it. Keshe Foundation can absorb some of the coin because the coins we buy from you, we become central bank. You're given the coin, you pick up the coins, but then we have to cash these coins where people come as investors to us and they want to buy the coin. And we sell the coins you collect from the game to the institutions. You understand? And institutions and companies or whatever know that there is no variation in the currency. So it always stays that price because everything is fixed to its position. And this is where the change will start up. The actual, if you notice, we don't promote the game as such, which we can do everywhere. We're just waiting for all the teething and all the problems sorted in the background. It's only been going for about a week or so. And then we develop it further. And then within the next few months, we go worldwide with it. This is why we've connected it to you become part of the Keshe Foundation once you register. And it's not a cryptocurrency game, as we saw this week. What do you call it? The BlackRock launched a new coins to do with nuclear weapons or nuclear technology, which is unheard of, such a thing. Well, we know what's the end game they are doing. But this is for a change of social structure because governments in maybe a year, 2 years' time use the cash coin for internal payments because it's a stable currency stand.
Ekmar is saying, can you allow me to speak, please? So maybe some information for us.
Okay.
Hello?
Go ahead, Ekmar.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Okay, perfect. You have to understand that with each level, we have 9 levels in the game. You increase what you find in the treasures, and collecting the items is increased by 1 order of magnitude. So right now you are all on level 1 because we started all fresh. Everybody is on level 1 and gets ACCs. That means atomic. So if you reach level 2, the next higher level, then you find femto, FCCs. The same amount when you find now 100 ACCs in a bucket on level 1, and you find the same bucket on level 2, you get 100 FCCs. Level 3, you find pico CCs. And in level 4, you find nano and micro and milli and so on till level 7 when you find milli. Level 8 is the last level where you can really find fractions of CCs, real CCs, but there is a level or a border of 2.5. So you will not find more than 2.5 CCs per month. So otherwise you can earn more than 2,500 euro per month. And that is not what we are aiming for. Yeah? We don't make you a millionaire, but we will make you a comfortable lifestyle. What we have recognized right now that a lot of people are registering on all 3 servers we have. So they try to cheat a little bit, yeah, so that they can earn instead of 2,500 euro, 7,500 euro. So we are working on that this is not possible. When you have registered on one server, you will be declined in all other servers. It's not yet done, but we are working on it. So bottom line, what I want to say is, yes, you are playing for almost nothing, where ACC is, like you said here, 10 to the power of -18. This is very little. But like Mr. Keshe said at the beginning, you should not play for the money, you should play for the enlightenment. The money is just a nice to have, add on. During the next months and years, you will gain really cents and then later euros, and you can make a living out of that game. And age doesn't matter, because even my 10-year-old son can make as much money as I can with 66 years, because playing in a browser game is not really depending on an age. Starting with whatever, 5 years, you can play already this game. And this game is not about killing or taking away. This is about collaboration instead of competition. So there's a lot to come, especially what Mr. Keshe said with the KF rooms. I think they will be ready next week, that we can transfer plasma fields over these KF rooms. So do not look at the money and think after whatever, 7 days of playing, you have already €1,000 in your pocket. You have almost nothing. That is a zero and then comma, and then about 16 zeros, and then 2,000. That's what this guy has earned in these few days. That's almost nothing, because on level 1, we are playing about almost nothing. ACCs, that's the currency of level 1. And level 2 is femto, FCCs. And level 3 is pico, it's PCCs. And then NCCs, MCCs, yeah, micro, micro, and then milli, MCCs. And then it's really cash coins, the next level, level 8. But until you have reached level 8, maybe I sent this link here from the blog, Control-C, Control-V. Now it's in the chat. After this meeting, I have a meeting with 3 Germans maintaining the wiki and the blog. So that will come also live next week. At the beginning only in English and German, but we are looking for others to translate it in Chinese and Hindu and Thai. So when you understand that in every level you need a double number of tokens to collect, you understand that level 8 is something to reach in about whatever, 3 to 5 years. If you play daily. So it's not something which will happen next week or next month. Realistic, if you are playing every day and very much, you can reach level, say, 3 in about at the end of the year, 9 months. So that is a realistic time frame for level 3. The interesting part on level 3 is that on level 3, you will be able to download a certificate from the game. With that certificate, you can create your own environment, your own cocoon. So that means you download the game software from GitHub or any other public place. And with the help of this certificate, you become part of the ONN, the worldwide private VPN network from the Keshe Foundation. If you recognize, for example, on World, we have maybe 50 or 100 players at a time. And sometimes it happens that when you arrive, somebody else was faster and was picking up the item and you did get nothing. this cannot be happen when you have created your own environment, because then you play only with your family members, or if you are alone, you play alone in your environment. So nobody can take it away. It's different with the PMUs, which is only visible by a player. This can never ever catched by someone else. But all the other items are shared between all online players. And first come, first serve. When you imagine that maybe 1,000 or 4,000 players are playing on one map with 195 countries, this will be very crowded, because in every country will be 3 or 4 players. So to avoid this problem, we allow starting level 3 to download your own certificate, become part of the worldwide VPN, and create your own world at home on your local computer. So you are protected against or isolated by the others. But that doesn't mean you cannot communicate with them. You still are connected with them over the VPN, over private emails, chat, the KF rooms, which we will introduce, and so on. Did that make it a little bit more clear?
Thank you very much. Very clear. You got to realize that, as has been, many of you have been buying cash coin. Now, once they start going in the next few weeks, you can use these cash coins in purchasing across the systems which comes up. Programs, sessions, products. So what we see people even seeing in certain countries move to purchase cash coin to secure investments. That means now you actually physically on a KC receive in your wallet. It's in your hand, is not what was before. And those of you who bought the coin from us in the past and you're holding in reserve, we transfer this through wallet into your wallet, which means it's yours and it stays yours. And as we said, we keep an eye. We as Egmar said that some people are trying to register in 3 places. We try to monitor that your wallet cannot be stolen, and if anybody steals your wallet, we are aware of it, we replace it. It's not worth stealing from us, because we find a way to catch it. So you can, or you should never lose, you'll be able to lose your coin, your assets. And those of you who bought wallets from us and the coins from the foundation in past years, and you're holding coin for you, we transfer this into wallets. You become in charge of it very soon. It's not with us anymore. And you can transfer it if you live in a country with a volatile currency. Change into KF stays steady, worth exactly the way you bought compared to the other currencies to come back into. Brings a stability in investment, especially for governments and big corporations. One of the reasons in the future I've been in business, I made more money in currency exchange in paying my bills 2 months late, taking a penalty, but I made 20% in the exchange rate. This we take out of it. Your 1,000 stays 1,000 and stays guaranteed in that, within the structure of the Keshe Foundation. You cannot lose, and this is very beneficial to companies. That's why we open a cash company side. To governments, with the volatility of pressure of the other countries trying to play with their currency, and we have enough coin to support the whole of humanity for years to come. We don't need to mine, we already mine, so we sit on it. It's for the governments and the individuals to get into it and make it what you call it, progress of development on it. Once the whole thing is complete, next few weeks, then you see us promoting the technology very rapidly, the coins. Thank you very much. I have to go. I do apologize. I have an important meeting I have to attend. We'll see you next week. And do apologize if I can't answer all your questions.
Yes, the time got away from us there. So thank you, Mr. Keshe.
Thank you very much. See you next week.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, yes, folks who have questions remaining, please carry them over to next week and we'll address them then. I think that's it for that. Let me just consult my notices here for a minute. Yes, there we go. Lucy's sending something for me. So this completes our 635th Knowledge Seekers Workshop here today on Thursday, March 26, 2026. We'll be back again next week at the same time, although next week we'll be into what's called Central European Summertime, CEST, which will be 1 hour ahead of what it is now. So check your local times, whether you have a difference in your local time compared to what it normally is for the 9 a.m. Change in hours. So it might be a little different than before. So just check your local time next week. And let me see, I've got a notice here from the Universal Council to read. Just get that up to have a look at as well. Okay, this is from Lissy, and I'll read it on behalf of the Universal Council. It says, we, the Universal Council, invite the Keshe and Universal family present on the earth in unifying at the soul level every time, every day at 9 p.m. Central European Time or Central European Summer Time, giving from our field strengths to enlighten the souls of world leaders to negotiate and sign the World Peace Treaty, pledging their nations to everlasting peace on earth and throughout the universe. Okay, thank you, Lissy, for that and for your work in the background to put together the presentations for the One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace, which is our next public teaching workshop. And let me get the calendar up as we rapidly rush through March, as we march through March, you could say. The next One Planet teaching will be on Tuesday, March 31st, the last day of March. And that will start at the 4 p.m. Central European Summer Time, as the time will change on Sunday, the way I understand it. So again, check your local times for that program, 4 p.m. Central European Summer Time. All right, I think that does it for today. Thank you, everybody, for attending today's Knowledge Seekers Workshop. And just open it up here. And may we all keep safe and positive going into this coming week of, with no doubt, lots of surprises as we go along. but with help of the knowledge of the plasma technology and working with emotions and other such things, working with the soul, we'll get through. Okay, going out with the usual flight enhancement spaceship unit, and have a great day, everyone.